my influence and my circle of influence. Right now, I'm a size like a size 8. And I was a size 4 to 6 before I got pregnant. So I don't want to, God, these enhancements on TikTok are like everything. But I want to, and for any mother who's postpartum, let me just show you guys. I want to recommend this. It's a waist trainer, but it is more so for like keeping your, I can't do any sort of battling. Xavier gets really upset and it just destroys my peace for the day. So, but anyways, I was telling you guys about waist trainers. Think of it like an assistant to gravity. I've seen so many moms who later on in the pregnancy or in the post-pregnancy stage, they are able to lose weight. However, they have a bunch of like skin that's been holding all of this excess weight that is failing to regain its elasticity. Which is very important. The waist trainer is like love for that. If you can imagine, like the waist trainer is taking off all of the pressure. It's almost like if you have a balloon. Balloons are they have high levels of elasticity, meaning we can stretch them really far. So does our skin. If you fill up a balloon with marbles, the balloon will get bigger, but it will also like hang down. And when you take out the marbles, the balloon will be larger and more stretched than it was before you put the marbles in. It's the same thing when you get pregnant. So the waist trainer, it kind of like takes the marbles out, so to speak, of the skin and holds it like in, and now your skin and in your abdominal has a better chance and a better opportunity to regain its elasticity. I'm still taking prenatal vitamins and I'm still lactating and feeding my son breast milk. He's 6 months old, Weston Mateo. So I'm doing all of those things and just letting myself, slowly but surely get back to where I was. I was 120 to where I was. I was 123 pounds to where I was. I was 123 pounds before I started, and I'm 5'9". So when I met Xavier, I was a very, very, very lean, super into the gym. My workout would be something along the lines of 40 minutes, fasted cardio, usually stairs, and then a complete circuit of weightlifting if I wasn't doing targeted weights. So like sometimes if I was like in the period of prep, I would do targeted weight training where I would do back and upper body on one day, legs on another day, etc. and so forth. But I wasn't really doing that prior to the pregnancy. I was doing full circuit, full body weight training. And so that's kind of, where I've been at. But the point is, are you ready? Did you email him? Huh? Do you want to say hi? I didn't show them you. So the point is, I don't know, it feels like people are following us again. It's so fucking weird. Anyways, the point is, you want to stay here so that you could double check? I don't know anyone. Literally, Xavier's the only person who I know, who I come with, who I like move around with. So all of my real friends have been missing in action for quite some time now. But back to the waist trainers. I'm selling these waist trainers if you guys are interested. And I'll do more on that on Instagram. So if you're not on Instagram, that's where I do most of the sales for waist training. But it does help, like, significantly. It's just common of elasticity. With that being said, we are writing an article for Xavier's father on smart societies that are utilizing the newest technologies to enhance the community and the environment for the patrons and members of the community. I think that it is an excellent opportunity to enhance life for everyone. We have some choices in this life, and we can spend our time being dicks, investing into causing harm for others, or we can invest our time into making our own experience better along with the experience of others. And I think that technology has the desire to invest in our own circumstances and our own abilities for the benefit of ourselves. Because let's keep it real, when we're speaking about a collective vibration or the energy of the collective, and what do I mean by when I say collective? I mean everyone in the community is the collective. Just like the word collection, it has the same root. So if you're in a community, everyone in that community is a collective. And if you want, to contribute positively, then you have to feel positive. You have to be happy. You have to be in a good space. You have to not be, victimized by a bunch of abuse. And then we have to be able to look at the people who have been victimized by a bunch of abuse and understand that it is not a fair expectation to ask them to be the person to raise the collective vibe. No one should be being abused in any way, but when someone is being victimized, it is not their job to be the strong one. That's just so stupid. Like the app is to spread good vibes and be compassionate and kind and all of these things. So ability, freedom, support to be who we want to be, or at the very least be who we are without fearing retaliation, harm, abuse, etc., then you're talking about two completely different sets of scenarios where a person has the opportunity, the freedom, and the peace to butterfly, to go from that caterpillar to that butterfly. People who are stuck in these oppressive circumstances and environments, they're not sick. Circumstances and environments, they're not sick. Are oppressed. And so that's the difference. And it's a very important difference. I very firmly really believe in the 5 to 5 rule. That's the main reason why I do not go to the shelter unless I have to be there. I leave as soon as I open my eyes in the morning. I get my belongings ready and I go, and I don't come back until the curfew. I don't want to be the 5th of 5 of anyone in that group. If you have to live in a homeless 5 of anyone in that group. If you have to live in a homeless shelter, it means that you either have no money, are sick and cannot make money, someone is oppressing you from making money, you are, too addicted or whatever to make money. I don't want to be the 5th of 5 of that group. And influence doesn't work when you're asleep. If you're asleep, unconscious, you're not picking up on the habits of others. So that's why I say I'm very intentional with my circle of influence, who I spend my time conversing with, who I spend my time consuming content from, etc. and so forth, because you could be the nicest person in the world and fall on bad times and end up in the shelter. If we all are on bad times, we need to be around people who are not on bad times so that we can raise the vibration. And this is not just for the benefit of the people who are going through the hard time. This is for the entire collective, because what we settle for at our bottom for fair treatment, that becomes the norm. So you never know what's going to happen, literally in the blink of an eye. My situation could change. I could wake up tomorrow, there could be a lawyer who's interested in helping me with all of these cases, a civil rights lawyer or someone with a tremendous amount of reach, and I could literally win a huge sum of money for all of the adversity that I faced. I could be, speaking to you in a year from now from the driveway of my mansion, sitting in the front seat of my, Mercedes or Range Rover. There's a million different opportunities for income and for me to earn money on, based on what I've been through, not just public speaking, but also in lawsuits, so I'm very eager to look at, here's Forest Park Police. You guys have no idea. Yesterday, well, let me show you. There's two of them right there. Yesterday, and like every single day, we get off the train and go to see our son out here in the suburbs. And there's literally like a group of like 10 to like 20 people spread around the train station. It is so ghetto and dirty. It's filthy. They throw their trash all over the ground. They urinate wherever the fuck. It is so disgusting. We're not talking about people who like, are stuck in the middle of the night with nowhere to go. It is daytime. There's like bushes and trees all over the place. You're in the suburbs. Why would you just walk 5 feet away from a group and start urinating? Like, it's just, they're animals, like literal animals with no training. It's disgusting as fuck. It needs to be stopped. And I'm sitting out here like, this is Forest Park where we have a high tax bracket. How are they not arresting these people? You're just going to walk over to like a group and start urinating in a public place on the CTA platform, and that's just become acceptable. It's absolutely disgusting, you guys. It's so sick. But now, like, you see the police like 2-3 deep. Why are they not going over to the train station and doing something about this? It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. You guys have no idea. So anyways, that's rich of you to judge others. I don't think that's judgment. Would you like to be sitting there minding your own business and have someone come and urinate next to you? That's not judging anyone. But thank you so much, Mrs. Roots. You can keep scrolling. You don't need to be here. By all means, please feel free to scroll right along. If you are the type of person with the mentality that it is acceptable to throw your trash on the floor and urinate next to where other people are sitting on a public bench, please keep scrolling. Because you are exactly the type of personality that I don't want to intermingle with, that I don't think we need more of in society. I'm a very compassionate and understanding person. I have understood situations in people that most will never. Urinating 5 feet from where a person is sitting in a public location during day when you have the opportunity to look for a restroom or go to a bush or whatever, that's absolutely disgusting. Like, what is wrong with people? Seriously. It's really, really nasty. So, yeah, I mean, and there's kids all over here. The public library is like 2 blocks from the train station. And it's just filled up with all of these like very dirty, disgusting homeless people. Like, it's so nasty. Why don't they make, right across the street from here is a community center. Howard B. Moore Community Center. They also have, cutie, hi. They also have a food bank there. Why are these people adults who most of them look like they've either just gotten released from prison recently or have absolutely no clothes, have an odor to them? Why aren't they going to the community center? Why would they be here at the public library where there are a bunch of toddlers and children with stay-at-home moms? This is not acceptable. Literally, kitty corner to the library is a community center. Howard B. MOHR, Forest Park Community Center. Why wouldn't these people be welcomed into that type of an environment and assisted immediately with clothing? These are the types of things that I continue to discuss that are common sense to me, that make absolutely no sense that they continue to go on unaddressed. We're all just going to keep looking the other way when we get off a train and walk by 5 to 10 adults who are openly urinating and openly selling drugs or attempting to sell drugs. I walk by and because I'm white getting off the train, they're asking me like if I want to have a blow. I don't even know what that means. Like, I tell them all the time, listen, you're at a train station. There's security all around. No, I don't do drugs. Please stop asking me to do drugs. No, thank you. Then I go inside and I tell the security, there are 6 of you. I've counted 6 security guards here. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With German shepherds that have like muzzles on them. And they're just like all over the train station. How are you guys going to let this go on? On top of that, they have the Forest Park police district or policing street, I guess they're called beat officers. officers, the ones that like drive around, constantly driving around. How do they allow this to go on? I do not get it. Because they fell on bad times, they get a bad rap because of the people who refuse to seek assistance. I'm dealing with housing instability for 5 years. My vehicle, a Cadillac CTS, was stolen from me and sold at auto auction. I have had no money. I have literally had to walk into a Target and steal a pair of leggings. Yes, I admit it. They cost $8. Someone went back and paid for me afterwards. But I woke up because I had nowhere to go. I was being refused shelter assistance, and I woke up covered in blood. The fact I had my period. Okay, and I went into Target and I switched my pair of leggings out, and I left. And I had one of my sponsors, pay for it later on. But I literally do not care if these people need to do that. Like, do that, please. By all means, do that. If you cannot get to somewhere to wear clothing that is not covered in body fluids or like looks like it needs to be singed and burned rather than washed, please take your ass to take your funky ass to Walmart or Target or wherever the fuck, Salvation Army, Goodwill, wherever you're closest to, and for human, protection to prevent the spread of infectious illness through blood, feces, urine, whatever, change your clothes. Like, literally, that happened to me one time. I swear to God. I was asleep. Xavier and I were asleep, and I got my, period during the middle of the night. I woke up, and I was literally covered in blood. Covered. And I had no pants, no money, no nothing. And we're, like, standing in the middle of downtown Chicago. They were, like, $7 or $8, the leggings, and I just went in there and, like, swapped them out real quick. And I'm not a thief, like, by trade. I don't really know how to commit crimes, like, stealing like gives me a rush that like does not feel good. It's not enjoyable. Like, it scares the fuck out of me. But by all means, if your choices are to walk around covered in urine, feces, or blood, please, please, please go and change your clothes. Like, please. And then when we talk about the community center being right here, there is no reason for someone who smells like Jack Daniels or fucking Tecate and bad choices to be in a library where a bunch of kids are hanging out. It just is not acceptable, period. And there absolutely should be, someone here to say, no, you are not permitted entrance to this facility. If you cannot find somewhere else to go to clean up, then this is not our problem. This is not judgment, we all live here. Common sense. If you want to go get fucked up all night long, by all means, feel free. But then you sleep that shit off at the beach or at a bush or at the park or wherever the fuck. You don't bring that around someone else's kids. You don't bring that to a public space. So that's just how I feel, and nothing is ever going to change my opinion. I've been out here now for 5 years. I am 37 years old. I have 4 children. My children lived with me from the moment they were born all the way until 2020 when I was unlawfully thrown out of my home. This is not a gig. This is not a gimmick. This is not a, some sort of cry for attention. This is not like a show or for entertainment. This is my real life. And I have been seeking legal assistance and representation for this since that took place. And I will not stop doing so until I receive the justice and vindication that this case deserves. Are you ready? So I charged my cell phone all night long, and then whoever has some sort of issue with me using my phone or going live or making calls remotely is draining my battery. So I just woke up 2 hours ago, didn't use the phone in the first hour, took a shower, pumped my breast milk for my son, got on the train, started watching TikToks on the train about, I would say, an hour ago, and then went live. We've been live now for 20 minutes? Yeah, 20 minutes. And they've already drained my cell phone battery to 17%. This is a common theme over the last 5 years. Anytime I'm speaking on real shit, they start draining my battery. Anytime I'm spitting too many facts for them, they start draining my battery. Oh, speaking of which, I also found a way to incorporate the teachings of smart societies into an AI generator similar to ChatGPT so that you can circulate articles that have already been written, by Harvard Business Review, by students, wherever they're being published. If you want to republish to your blog and you're monetizing, you can literally put sentence structures into a ChatGPT or any sort of AI kind of filter make it your own, and now you legally have rights to publish that as your own piece. So please continue to spread the word on this, you guys, because we're in 2024 where no one should be being, oppressed in this way. No one should have to live in a homeless shelter. It's fucking disgusting in there. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. There's like no one in there that's normal. Like, literally. Xavier and I are the closest thing to normal in there. Like, it's wild. Well, that's a lie. There's probably like 5 guys that seem normal. But most of the women, they seem to either have like some third personality that they have open conversation with on the regular. Either they're combative, like as soon as I open my eyes, they're like, fuck you, bitch. Turn off the motherfucking light, ho. Like, crazy shit. No one in there is just like a normal person, like it's just wild, you guys. It's absolutely insane. And 2024, like I said, no one should be subjected to those sorts of living conditions. Not a single person, no one. If someone is so bad or like so criminal, they should not be able to coexist with others. They should be isolated until they can like work it out. You know what I mean? And with what we've got going on with AI and technology and all of the protective measures that we actually have access to, there is absolutely no reason why anyone should have to wake up in such an abusive environment. There just is not. So I'm always for the people, for all of the people. Like, if someone is going to wake up and start screaming and yelling and cursing someone else out for absolutely no reason, that person should not be permitted to coexist with someone who is peaceful. It's not fair. Like, we're in 2024 where no one is supposed to be able to rob anyone of their peace, right? That's what all of these self-help influencers and everyone going live is always talking about. Like, yeah, don't let anyone steal your peace. Don't let anyone steal your light. Don't let anyone steal your joy, etc. and so forth. I agree with that 100%. What do you do if you're living in an oppressive situation where you cannot get away, or your only choice is to literally live outside or be exposed to this? It's unfair. And I've been going live about it and being transparent about it for 5 years. 5 years. My vehicle was stolen from me. It just so happens, after speaking with one of the staff, Miss Yvette, I find out that Georgia is one of the only states in this country that allows you to sell a vehicle without having its title. Isn't that wild? How opportunistic. So my vehicle starts getting mechanically sabotaged here in Illinois and Chicago. I was living with a mechanic. He was fixing it, told me everything was great. The car was perfect, got an oil change at a third-party mechanic. They told me everything was great. Drove my vehicle to Florida. As soon as I got into Florida, it started making some weird sputtering noise. After just having all these repairs, start driving back home to Chicago. As soon as I crossed the border over from Florida to Georgia, boom, my car magically starts having issues. I had to get it towed from where it was, from a Walmart where it was by AAA, to Ben's Hair and Auto in Valdosta, Georgia. They put the car in a storage. I spoke with the owner of the storage. I got it in writing that my car was safe, that I did not owe any money, that no one was going to touch my vehicle without my consent, that I was the registered owner and the only person with keys, that my vehicle would not be turned over to anyone. Called them to check on the car a few months later and was literally told, and you are not going to make an effort to sit at the hospital because you cannot hold your urine for 5.5 minutes, that is the only place you should be. If you cannot hold your urine in your body long enough to walk more than 5 to 10 feet away from someone in broad daylight and public, you need to be sitting at the entrance to a hospital because you are in probably end-stage kidney failure. Like, period. You should not be wandering around the streets. And that's not judgmental to say that, people deserve better than that. We all deserve, every single one of us deserves better than that. Animals deserve better than that. And I'm truly sick of talking about it. It's absolutely disgusting. So you guys, if you want to donate to my cause, Cash App is the way, and it is the cash tag that we're using this month. Make sure you guys always check with me for my cash tag because it does update very frequently. I have had a history of having people steal my cash tag, so I do, change it as often as I need. And my cash tag for this month, or this period, is VLAW, VLAW, Go Pro Solo. And this is the only working cash app, cash tag, whatever it's called right now. V-Law, virtual law, so V-Law. And those just so happen to be the initials of my children in order for when they were born, V-Law. And I'm always and forever talking about how the like trolls and bullies need to be regulated just as much as like police are policing in, you know, normal communities. We need that sort of policing on the internet. I mean, it's absolutely real. We've got stalkers, we've got harassers, we've got trolls, we've got all this stuff. And at surface level, it doesn't appear to be a problem, right? It appears to just be like something normal. But then we also have like teenagers. We also have like teenagers who are you know, and I was doing sexy content at the time. So I stopped doing that in 2019, and I started looking for other ways that I could evolve my brand. Now, the crazy part is that when I was selling like sexy content from 2015 to 2019, I was getting so much love. People were sending me gifts for no reason. Like, I had to get a P.O. box because people were sending me like actual gifts. I had to it was ridiculous. I would get like 500 likes on a post in the first like few hours of posting it on mainstream social media or all organic. I was not employing, you know, social media management technology at that time. It was 100% organic. I think it was like Facebook. It would be nothing. It would be like a photo of me in the mirror, like trying on an outfit. Like not even that sexy, just like something you would see like walking down the street, you know? And I would get so much love in the first few minutes. And I would get all these comments and people would want to donate to me and be so supportive. And when I decided after 5 years of doing that I was so objectified, that the feeling of being objectified that way was so destroying to my well-being, my sense of self and who I am and my core values and beliefs, that is when I started getting all the hatred on the internet. And that is the first time my eyes ever even opened up to the fact that there are people on here who are so fucking sad and pathetic that they will look for you and your light and your happiness and your creative outlet and whatever is giving you life during that time, and they will actually make it a job of theirs to be assholes. Like, I could not imagine that. I could not wrap my head around it. I was like, no, that exists. People are nice. No one wants to hurt me. No one wants to hurt my feelings. And it went from receiving all of the tremendous amount of like verbalized love and these feelings of appreciation and even, you know, people adoring me and wanting to support my endeavors in all sorts of different ways, to people just being like worthless scumbags. Their ability to hide the truth of who they were, they lost it completely. Their mask fell off and they were just like these nasty, nasty losers. And it's not just internet trolls. Like, it's internet trolls. Like, it's people in real life who are losers as well. Like, they all combine. Prescription refill histories. hospital and EMR records, arrest records, court records. It's all easy to hack. Anyone can hack it with an entry-level hacking information and entry-level experience of hacking. They can all be hacked. So if all of this information is at our fingertips anytime, background information, background checking software is information that we can obtain easily and for like $30. Unlimited amounts of information at our fingertips, okay? Background check anyone that you want. If we have the ability to background check someone and see, then it should not be permitted in SEO, because we have laws in regular life that if someone goes around slandering and harassing you, they are subject to civil lawsuits. They can and will be pursued by civil law, if not criminal law, depending on how far it gets. Now, that is no different for the internet. Okay, my bad. They did that bullshit again with my draining out my battery. So anyways, the point that I was making is basically that all of these crimes that like internet trolls are doing online, in the beginning of the internet, we were all like, oh, it's just internet trolling, like no big deal, whatever. It's not like that anymore. Like, these people have been relentless in harming others, including children, through their nonstop badgering and explicit, nasty jargon and verbiages that they continue to use and, cram down people's just into their mentality. If we learn something by repeated nonstop, badgering of it, if your mom tells you your whole life that you're fantastic, that you're phenomenal, that you're great, then that is what you grow into. And if you're constantly told that you're not shit, then you create these or develop these issues, these deep-seated belief systems in yourself. And yeah, sure, there are people who are strong enough to not be affected by it, but not completely, At some level of your subconscious, we carry these things. So it's all of our responsibility to not be like that type of a contributor, to contribute to society in ways that are not that, to be kind, courteous, intelligent, well-spoken to the best of our ability, especially if we're going to go live or, be a content creator, to put our best face forward and to understand that the content that we're sharing, what is it? You have to ask yourself, what am I hoping to achieve or accomplish by doing this? And if, you're one of those people that people and the celebrity bloggers, like you really have to wonder what part of that is illegal, what part of that is absolutely harassment, and how do SEO SEO is a term that means search engine optimization. Type something into Google or another search engine, what is popping up from that, that entry that you type? And in not just my opinion, but the opinion of many people, there is a responsibility for accuracy from every search engine. So if someone is typing my name, there should not be 30 results that say 30 lies or misleading things. The truth should pop up of who I am and what I'm involved in and what my role in life and contributions to society have been and are, and how I spend my time and what I truly do. It should be illegal. Just like if someone decided that they would go around telling anyone who was interested in doing business with me that I am on drugs, or that I am, I don't even know another example to use, like a snake oil salesman, stuff like that. It's just not true at all in any way. I don't do drugs and I don't sell snake oil. I'm a good salesperson and I'm like a transparent salesperson and I sell truth. So when someone Googles my name, that's what should pop up. Whether we're talking virtual slander or in-person slander, and that's kind of like what my newest campaign has been geared towards, is protecting people, whether they have the money to pay a digital team or not, in the same way that the law protects us in the three-dimensional life. In this virtual space, who is Heather Gillespie? Who is Coco Chanel YSL? Who is or what is GoPro Solo? What is its purpose? What has been its purpose in the past? What's been the evolution? It's not illegal to talk about someone's past. It's illegal to talk about someone's past as if it's their present in an effort to slander, libel, or defame their character. That is illegal. So that's where I'm at. What is he doing? You guys, it's so hard sometimes being with Xavier. It's like being with, I don't even know, it's like he is slow, mentally handicapped, mean, nasty, nice, loving, hateful, caring, impatient, awful, and the greatest all at the same time. It's awful. It's absolutely terrible. He said he was going to go fill up his water bottle, and I said, please hurry. We have an appointment, and we need to stop at the store on the way to the appointment. And he's just missing in action. Makes everything so difficult. I wish I had a partner, a contributing partner who was an actual partner who was out for himself and me only, not the world, and who was doing what was best for me and him and our baby and my children. That's what, life deserves. Or life is for. It's for finding your purpose. Mine has been found. I'm a mother. My children are my purpose. Being a good, woman and mother and person, all of that comes secondary to fulfilling my obligation as a mother, and it's all combined into one thing. And he makes it so difficult sometimes. Xavier! What are you doing? What? Please stop setting your phone on the ground. We need to go now. You're not. You just set your phone on the ground inside the library. Why would you do that? Please get it and let's go. Someone can easily step on it or steal it. Why would you set it there? So anyways, we talk about AI being a sort of eliminator of jobs at an entry level, and I've discussed this before. I studied AI. I took a short course on Intro to AI, and we have a bunch of information on the trampolining effect, which is supposed to, what was that? I don't know. It was supposed to be like a trampoline into higher level jobs rather than an eliminator of entry level jobs. So it does eliminate entry level jobs, but in doing so, it creates mid-entry level job, not mid-entry, middle level jobs with a higher, payout and a higher hourly wage. I don't think so, Alex. Thank you. Xavier and I have a child together. I would never chase him. If he wanted to not be here, he doesn't have to be here. I'm fairly certain that this is where he wants to be. But thank you for your opinion. Were you trying to sell eggs, stolen phone? Xavier doesn't have any stolen phones, but thank you. Why don't you read the comments? You just blab nonstop about the same thing on a loop. Why are you here? Treat your partner as an equal. I wish I could, Skib Bandit. I truly wish that I could. The problem is when I'm dealing with Xavier as an adult and he isn't making adult decisions that are for his own best interest and my best interest, I have to treat him like a child, so it does get in the way sometimes. Why doesn't he have Xavier's last name? So it looks again like this is one of those times that I'd really love for someone with any sort of authority to pay attention, because there is a very intentional current of hatred that is being flowed into my page. There are tons of people who think that I'm great or are indifferent or don't care at all. Why are they being oppressed from my page? And why is there a strong current of hatred coming through my page? And that is what I would like to be seen immediately right now, and what I would like the law to prevent. I am not asking for there to be some sort of virtual authority that doesn't allow for, different perspective to be shared. That's totally fine. But what I am suggesting is that it should 100% be illegal to flow with intention a current of hatred into someone's life. This is my page. It's not your page. It's not anyone else's page. Anyone can open a page. It is your right. You can go open a page of your liking. It is not acceptable for a current of hatred to jump onto my page and begin abusing me. That is not acceptable. And the implications with the false allegations and all of that has real world effects on reputation, brand, name, etc., and so forth. And we are long overdue. This is 5 years of me documenting this meticulously, sharing it with the authority, being incredibly articulate about what is going on this end. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand how this would affect someone's ability to do business, their reliability, their reputation, etc., and so forth. This is detrimental. This type of behavior should be shut down, immediately. It should not be, well, Heather, get offline. Absolutely not. Heather should be allowed to sit online on her page for 24 hours a day if she so chooses. But the hatred, that would be like if I were sitting in, this is what I want you guys to understand. This would be like if I were sitting in my living room doing whatever I want, and all of a sudden I looked up and there were 100 people in my living room telling me to fuck off, that I was ugly, that I was undeserving of love, that is illegal. All of those people would be arrested for trespassing, harassment, slander, libel, and even assault. This is my virtual living room. If you don't want to be here or you have nothing nice to say, get out. Period. These laws need to be enforceable. Like would law enforcement look away if all of a sudden 150 to 200 people 150 to 200 people surrounded me and started spewing hatred at me? No, they wouldn't. Those people would go to jail for forming an angry mob. It needs to be the same way online. Xavier, let's go. So anyways, yeah, that's V Law, and that is my hope and aim and direction for the campaign of virtual law. On top of that, I have a whole bunch of other human rights allegations that I have been documenting on and reporting on for quite some time. We have constitutional rights in this country. I'm going to repeat the Constitution. The preamble of the United States Constitution goes something like this. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Now, we learned that where I'm from in 8th grade. 8th grade, okay? So the fact that we have full grown-ass adults sitting in these rooms being mean, harmful, rude, slanderous, it's just beyond my level of understanding. I don't get it. And the fact that for 5 years this type of thing has been going on and we've not been able to build out an AI filter to prevent it, that is obscene. I mean, that just does not even make sense to me. It can't be real, you know? So I am really hopeful that in the next few months, year, whatever, these types of filters will, get rolled out. I'm also very hopeful and feeling like there's a huge chance with all of this proof and all of this documentation that I should be receiving a large, dollar amount for all of this. No one pays me to be, harmed, bludgeoned, raped, stabbed, have my belongings robbed from me. I have received zero restitution for any of that, so when this type of hatred from the internet rolls over into the real world, you can understand the potential for how this would be hazardous. And I shouldn't even have to go on record or make any sort of argument about why this should be illegal. It is illegal, as I said before, just like harassing and stalking someone in person would be illegal or unlawful. It is also illegal and unlawful to do so online, so period. If we can't get to the point where we are blocking out these IP addresses and IMEIs and UDIDs from the actual, the actual website or platform or app. Say, for instance, it's TikTok. The United States is making claims that TikTok is based out of China or whatever their claim is against the app or the platform or the software. It becomes very simple if we cannot find out who's doing it to just build AI platform integrations to open APIs or open the API and add in, these AI softwares that would essentially sense tone, sense motive, sense truthfulness or validity, especially with someone like myself who's been fighting her reputation on the internet for so many years. We're past the point of, is this true or is this not true? There's very clear evidence that what I've been saying this entire time is real and truthful. And most of it can be found virtually without even having to hack. Okay, so put all of that into a big pot of truth soup and start rolling out some sort of options for every single app-based or software-based technology to be able to defend their reputation preemptively before it becomes a problem. And yeah, I read the comments a lot. Like I said before, some days it feels like I have a whole bunch of support. It feels like there is a current of love and support and understanding and intelligence and people who want to have intelligent conversation about making the world better for everyone. And I love that. And then I do read the comments. But on the days when it's just this trash, I can't even acknowledge your comments with a response. So you guys have a great day, okay?